You been on a podcast before?
This is my first one.
Oh.
This is my first ever potty, man, and I was, I think when we spoke about it Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it was, I was like keen. I was like, bro, let's do it. You know, I feel like this is like something new, not necessarily new, but it's a great way to sort of get some ideas out there other than written content and whatnot.
People can't feel you through a text, like through text form, the same way they can through you talking. And yeah, if you can just get comfortable enough to do it, I feel like I've said it multiple times, like people can know sort of like your energy through message, like through video.
Bro, 100%.
The same, you can't do it the same way through text.
Bro, 100%, and I think like, especially with the opportunity to have like lives or podcasts and cameras around, bro. Like
this is our first live. That. You've really thrown a spanner in the works.
Nah, it's all good, bro. It's all good.
Yeah. So I might introduce you first.
Yeah, man.
So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'll introduce myself. What's going on, guys? My name is Blake. I am the strength camp coach here at Strength Sanctuary here in Stafford. I've been here for, I want to say like 4 or 5 weeks. I think I just started around winter time. And it's been awesome here. I think one of the things that I like about this place is it's a lot different to a lot of the conventional gyms. Different type of niche, different type of people. Yeah. So many different things to learn, to understand, to get better at as well. So,
yeah. And you've been in a few different environments now, like a few different types of gyms. So you've tried lots of different stuff, eh?
Yeah, bro, a lot. I started in the industry about 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago.
Really? Yeah.
My uncle actually, he just purchased at that time a functional gym called PLC.
Oh, right.
At North Bay.
What's your uncle's name?
Durant, DJ.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of him.
DJ. Yeah. So he started over there, and during that time I was working with my old man and my brothers. He's got just a construction company.
Okay.
So we were doing a lot of home builds, new builds, renos, townhouses, a lot of that stuff. And it was cool, man. Like the whole purpose for that, for me personally, was to understand how to build, like to get a trade.
So how long were you doing that for?
I was doing that, bro, out of high school, graduated 2012, up until, about 3 or 4 years ago.
I have no idea how old you are.
I'll be 26 in December.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be 26 in December, bro.
Same age, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah. 95?
95, bro. 95, baby. And so, yeah, man, like, got that skill and that trade under my belt, and it was awesome. You know, not too many people can say that, probably yourself, say they work for, like, their family business or, like, for their dad. And for me and my brothers, that was an awesome thing. Yeah. You know, because we got to share that love and passion our dad has for the building game. Yeah. He's been in the game for about 30 years.
Yeah. So it's just building like renos?
Bro,
like
renos, new builds, townhouses, a little bit of commercial stuff, but just like the contract stuff on the side as well, which is cool.
That'll come in handy, bro, when you move into your own place.
That's it, man. And that's it, like another tool to sort of, I guess, understand and get better at is the trade. Any trade, right? But yeah, building a house for me will be one of the more bigger outcomes I have for myself.
Yeah. So you want to build your own place?
Yeah, bro. That's it. I want to. That's my goal for the next about 2 to 3 years. Just to build for my wife and I. Which would be pretty exciting, bro.
When did you get married?
I got married last year, August 26th, which is actually my wife's birthday, so it's a bit of a 2 birds, 1 stone situation. I mean, I'm not that great at remembering dates, but if
you get divorced, you've ruined her birthday.
I wasn't sure if I should say that, but yeah.
I wasn't sure if I should say that. I'm sure you won't. You're a nice guy.
Bro, so...
You really ruined her birthday, bro. Like, better not divorce her.
Yeah, bro, it was crazy. Like the whole pandemic thing, it was quite a year to be a part of. So we actually got engaged last year as well, then asked me what month or date we got engaged, but I know we got married on August 26th,
Yeah.
and it was awesome, bro. You know, we, up to that point, been together, oh, here we go, this would be a test, wouldn't it? I think we're 5 years.
She's watching, bro.
She will be watching this. Honey, 5 to 6 years, give me a bit of leeway. Somewhere around there, bro. So, you know, it was something that I had planned for about 6 months. So I knew in my heart, beginning of last year, I wanted to make her my wife, bro. So mustered up the courage, and yeah, man, did the whole process. Asked the parents.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was like
That
a
is crazy.
different.
Are her parents like real protective sort of thing?
So she's actually the only girl in her family.
Oh, okay.
So she's got So she's got 5 older brothers.
Oh,
I'm
no.
pretty sure. Tosh, Josh Jordan.
That's a lot of
Nate.
people to impress.
So that's 4 older brothers and 1 younger brother.
Yeah.
And yeah, look, it was interesting, man. First sort of meeting like the family in that capacity was so different. But yeah, she's probably been the biggest blessing in my life. Easily the last, say, 5 to 6 years. So it's crazy what someone can do when they sort of just show up.
Yeah, that's awesome,
in your
dude.
life. So, yeah, man. So got
good.
married, doing the husband thing. Still not sure how that actually is working out. I guess I'm just going with it, man. Can't really plan these things.
Yeah,
Hey,
you got some good husband vibes going on.
Bro, I hope so, man. Like, I'm just trying my best. Just try my best, bro. Just try to do what I can every day and make life a bit easier, bro.
Good.
Beautiful.
You don't have kids, do you?
No kids. Wife actually wanted kids like the first year we were together, and I was like, whoa, hey, oh man, give me. Okay, let's just take it step by step.
Take a breathe, honey.
Yeah, take a breather. But you know, for us, we just wanted to sort of enjoy the time that we have together as a couple, and then we'll sort of get into the kids, the family situation sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Nice, man.
Yeah, that's the plan, anyways. That's the plan.
Scares the fuck out of me.
Bro, it's like it's definitely it's definitely an interesting thing to sort of plan around, to be honest, because it's not like training or like business. It's like you're planning your future with your wife and your kids. Like, what experiences do you draw from other than like your parents and your family, etc., etc. And I felt like I always had this notion of trying to do everything right. Like I wanted to do everything perfectly in the right way, and I found out that, man, like life's not like that. It's gonna throw a spanner, and you're just gonna have to try and adjust as much as you can, right?
You don't want to be just doing it to like tick off boxes just because that's like what a happy life looks like, you know. Like
bro.
you find what makes you happy.
Bro, 100%. And what a journey, hey.
We've talked about that kind of thing before, how you almost sort of wait for the right time for things, but it never happens. You just got to do it and adjust as you go and just work with whatever's happening.
Bro, 100%. Like, prime example, when my wife and I, when I was planning to propose to my wife, we were both going through some crazy things personally in our life back then, which was only 12 or so months ago, with our families, but more so with like business as well. And I looked at that as, look, I could sort of delay this as much as I could to wait until I was comfortable to do these things. But again, like, where's the growth in that? If I'm always just going to be putting things on the shelf and just looking at it, hopefully it's going to work out, rather than shucks, just go and just learn as much as you can along the way. You can stuff up regardless, but just keep on learning, man. Learn through your mistakes, man. Cop it on the chin, you know, and just grow from it.
I'm a bastard.
Bro, hey.
But my parents are still together. They're just boyfriend and girlfriend. They never got married.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is like pretty rare for like that time, you know, like 25 years ago. That was like real weird, people being together and not getting married.
Yeah, bro, 100%.
But they grew up real religious, but just didn't really believe in like marriage. Yeah.
I'm sort of similar, man. Like I see it as like a religious ceremony, and I'm like not religious at all. So I'm kind of like, well, I wouldn't, just don't really see like why I would do that.
Yeah, true.
It just depends the meaning you give it. Like it can be real symbolic for some people, and like it really means something to you. But for me, I'm sort of the same. Like, it hasn't affected me.
Yeah,
like my
100%.
parents' relationship at all. Like, don't need that piece of paper to love someone. But some people, it's just like real symbolic, and it's really got a good meaning for them. And but yeah, whatever makes you happy. Again,
Whatever makes you happy,
whatever
bro.
makes you happy, bro.
And it's always going to be different for a lot of people. I mean, for myself personally, growing up as a Pacific Islander, our like beliefs, our way of life is very family centered.
So where are you from?
So my dad's Tongan,
Okay.
and my mum's Niuean.
Yeah.
But I was born in Auckland. My whole
Yeah.
family were born in Auckland, New Zealand.
Yeah.
And we moved over here when I was about 9.
Yeah.
So I've spent more time here in Australia than I have in New Zealand.
So is that a big cultural thing, the getting married?
Yeah, it's massive, man, and
Does the whole family sort of come together for
that's
it?
it. That's it, bro. Like, for myself personally, as a Tongan, as the eldest boy in my family, there's quite a, I guess, a standard and a status.
Yeah.
And you know, it's definitely something that some people shy away from, or they fully just don't want to do.
Yeah.
My old man was the prime example of someone who just didn't care about it too much and just married my mother because he loved her.
Yeah.
He still loves her, and you know, she's from a totally different background. But he was, sort of just adamant that, you know, scripture talks about love conquering all.
Yeah.
And not to say that they're the perfect example of anything like that, but in my life, in my opinion, they are. So I took that upon myself as well when planning my wedding, just to do what made me feel comfortable, and more so my wife.
Cool.
If it's going against anyone or anything, then that's fine. It's not really important to me. The only thing that was important is the happiness of my wife, and that day not only being the day that we were married, but like her birthday. Now she expects a wedding present and a birthday present.
Yeah.
Let's see how that goes this year.
Did you get a, like, because it was in August, did
Yeah.
COVID affect it all, or you could have a normal wedding?
Yeah, bro. So August we could only have 30 people. 30 people, yeah. And we're both from massive families. Like massive, bro.
Yeah.
So a lot of people took that differently, took it a bit hard that either it was a really small wedding, excuse me, or they weren't invited.
Yeah.
And I fully get it. You know, you want to celebrate, you know, the two families coming together, which is such a cultural thing, culturally rich as well. But for my wife and I, it's more so not just trying to please people around us for them to be happy if we're not going to be happy. It was selfishly for us.
It should be.
Right?
What's your alternative though? It's like wait like a year and a half or something?
Wait a year.
Just so you
like,
don't hurt some people's feelings.
Bro, 100%. Like pay like thousands. I think for my wife and I, we only paid like $500, $600.
Nice.
And the rest we just spent on a honeymoon in Montville for like 3-4 days.
Yeah, I see.
So again, like for me that was the most important thing. I didn't focus on anyone else or any other thing other than my wife's happiness, and whether that's obnoxious or not, sure. It's not, doesn't worry
Dude,
me.
It doesn't sound obnoxious to me, bro.
Doesn't worry me, man. I'm sweet.
I don't know we're getting this guy. Dude, why is he here? It's so obnoxious. Not my wife.
Yeah,
Shut up about that.
Yeah, but it's crazy, man. So, yeah, what a year, man. And you know that sort of rolled onto. At that time, I was starting at Anytime Fitness in Griffin. So transitioned from group coaching and a bit of PT at PLC. Through the COVID period, got obviously pretty quiet with the shutdowns. During that period, actually, my brother and I, we started an 8-week online boot camp, just with our clientele and a couple of family members as well, which we're very blessed to do because that sort of carried us through that time when a lot of people were essentially out of gyms, out of work.
Could you you could do one-on-ones in the park?
Yeah, you could do the one-on-ones in the parks and whatnot.
Yeah.
We were just doing Zooms, bro. So we'd do
Were the
classes.
two of you together doing it?
Yes, we were living at home at that time, man. And we'd do like classes Monday, Wednesday and a Friday.
So would one person be sort of demonstrating live, and then the other person would be coaching them? And
coaching
then,
the class.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So just adjusted and adapted.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
To what was around us and sort of made a pretty crazy situation.
Yeah, build that community out of that.
Bro, 100%, man. And we sort of just rolled on after that. We were given an opportunity to start at Anytime Fitness in Griffin. And my brother was at Dakabin, which is only like 10 minutes away from each other, owned by the same owner. We were there for about 10 months, man, and it was an awesome experience. Great people, great community. Learned so much about, even more about business, even more about PT, even more about, just the industry as a whole.
How did you find Tom? Because he's been like
Tom Fox.
Yeah, he's been pretty pivotal for you, hasn't he?
Foxy, yeah. Shout out to Foxy. He's going to be watching this.
Foxy's the man. Everyone loves that guy.
Shout out to Foxy. He's a man, bro. I was introduced to Tom Fox through my brother, actually. My brother was working as a PT at Good Life in Chermside.
Yep. That's where I started.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's small world.
Small world.
Very small world.
Yeah.
So he started there during that sort of pandemic period, just before the end of it. And he met Tom at the gym, but more specifically, they were at their Christmas party. And my brother doesn't drink. He noticed Tom, I don't know if Tom drinks anymore, but he probably wasn't having any that day or whatever it is. And they sort of just started chatting from there. And sort of got introduced to Tom through my brother. Going on about 18 months now, just under 2 years, I'm pretty sure, with Tom. And again, definitely a someone that I call a mentor, man. I think we can all definitely agree to that.
Yeah, he's even been a mentor to us in ways for sure. Like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. He's a beast, man.
Yeah,
like,
I learned a lot from that man.
Bro, it's crazy. Like, especially being, as you guys would know, man, like how important it is to have those mentors. Excuse me, especially the ones that you can actually talk to face to face. And I can't even put them any more of a high pedestal.
I feel like you have to, especially like PT. Like the ones who just think that, like, if you're ignorant enough to think that you know stuff, and you haven't been coached at all at the minimum, like how do you know? Well, you've got no one to like call you out and tell you your shit, like.
And that's it, bro.
You can't grow a lot. What were you about to say, Ryan?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I think he's the type of person, and there's like, they're in all, like a lot of industries I've noticed. It's like the people who are like exceptionally good at that job always move up to like a mentoring position, and then like make a separate business out of just coaching, like all the people doing the thing that they used to do.
Yeah, 100%. He's definitely filling that void, man. And, super grateful to have Tom as a mentor. I think, you know, what he's not only done for me personally, but for a lot of people is awesome. I think the industry needs a lot more people like Tom, to be honest.
There's a lot of people who owe their success to that man. Like,
yeah, bro, 100%.
And now he's
100%.
going to do that for so many more people with what he's doing. You know?
Yeah, he's a man. He's the man.
I hope he's watching.
I hope you're watching,
We
Tom.
love you, Tom.
Tom, you're the man, bro. You're the man.
And he's also handsome as well.
He's got a beard.
Yeah.
He shaved it off a couple of weeks ago. He looked like a schoolboy kid. Now he's like, don't mess with me. Right? He's like, don't mess with me, vibes.
When I describe Tom like the tall, handsome man,
Yeah, bro,
and
100%.
like, with a beard, I'm like, oh yes.
Yeah, when he doesn't have the beard and he's telling me I haven't stuck to my meal plan, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But when he has the beard, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll get back on next week.
The authority, like, the hair has, man. It's crazy. But yeah, he's a man, bro. Super grateful for that guy.
Yeah. Well, that's how we met.
Yeah, it is.
Literally, yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's it. That's how we met, bro.
That's
how we met.
That's how
we met, man, and
started a beautiful relationship.
Bro, 100%. I think, you know, especially over the past 18 months, getting, I guess, amongst the community, amongst people, talking face to face is one of the most important things more than ever. Especially people being locked down and
and you sort of had lost that a little bit with going online. A little bit.
Yeah, bro, it was crazy,
not
man.
Not lost, just different, you know.
Yeah, 100%, bro. And the whole reason for me going online was to sort of spend a bit more time with my wife. So I guess the first 5 to 6 months of our marriage last year, I was like, ridiculously pumped at the gym, man. I was, crazy hours. And I was sort of only having like one day with her, which was like a Sunday.
How many sessions were you doing?
I think I clocked it, like my busiest there was about 60 to 65.
Oh, wow. That's a
And
lot.
it's pretty crazy, bro. Like I was there from about 5 till about 8.
Yeah.
Like maybe like an hour or two
Yeah.
between. Like
And then-
training went
Yeah.
down, like sleep went down,
Yeah,
like I was
yeah.
a zombie, and again I wasn't spending as much time with my wife during that time.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And then when you're with her, you're like communicating with clients and doing programs.
Yeah,
and-
bro.
Yeah.
It would be like dinner time or even like on a Sunday, and I'm like, programming or just on the computer. And she sort of made the comment like, hey, let's see where we can sort of shift the business online. So one, we could spend a bit more time together.
Yeah.
and
So
two,
it was her idea?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. it was definitely her idea, man. And I'm glad it sort of got to that point because it made me refocus and reposition myself in my life.
Yeah.
Business is an important thing to me, and it's something that I have grown to love into. But for me, what's more important than that is my relationship with my wife and my relationship with my family,
Yeah, that's
my
awesome.
friends, training, just being a normal person
Yeah.
more than anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, bro, I sort of made that shift during the period of I think about 6 months ago, just under 6 months. Took the business online, man. It's been crazy. Took that online. Got to spend a bit more time with her in the mornings and evenings, bro. And
What percentage of your clients like stayed with you as you transitioned over to online?
about 70 and 80% of them.
Oh wow, that's very
Which is-
good, dude.
Yeah, it was a massive blessing, man. Like, it was a lot of like late nights trying to get the whole systems working and everything sort of hopefully going to work. That type of attitude I had, and wasn't really spending a lot of time with my family or anyone else. I was just trying to get these things right, and I think the fruits of those labors definitely paid off by having that.
Did
come
Tom
over.
help you with that transition?
Yes, Tom did, man, and I reached out to Tom during the beginning stages of it, and he just gave me a couple of ideas and a couple of systems and just some thought processes to sort of get under my belt, and just to slowly work your way in it more than anything. Don't try and go 100 miles an hour because you're sure to just smack your head and stay there for a little while, but just enjoy that slow grind, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, bro. So crazy times.
That's cool, man.
Crazy times.
I feel like not everyone can do the online stuff. Like a lot of people try to do it, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's real saturated.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people I wouldn't trust with it. You know,
Yeah, 100%.
like every second person has that in their bio these days. Online coach. I'm like, have you done it face to face? Like,
yeah.
just because you've trained yourself, how have you like? I believe you need to have the one-on-one experience, like to do it first.
100%, and especially again tying Tom back into it, having a mentor there, having a couple mentors there, sort of in that space that you can trust, that you can see has worked for them, that you can sort of, I guess, spend those days with them that they've spent decades, acquiring over years, and Tom's one of those guys, bro. So not an easy thing to get into more than anything. And I think where a lot of people, trainers more specifically, get tied up is thinking that it's just gonna all fall into their lap, like as soon as online coach is in the bio, or like you know what I mean, like not realizing that, man, you gotta put in that work. Like
You gotta put that value.
hours.
You gotta put the value out there.
Bro, 100%.
Yeah.
100%, and that's just another thing that I learned from Tom, man, is sort of earn your keep more than anything. But if you're going to be helping these people, adding value to their lives, two things: you have to be willing to continually upskill yourself every day, and really value that more than anything. Great physique is great. Lifting 200 kilos over your head is great, but if you can't really connect to people like on a personal level, then I found from my experiences, and Tom will probably say the same thing, that not too inclined to really be coherent to the plan more than anything. If they're just like, oh, this guy's a robot. Like,
they have to feel like they have to feel like you care.
Yeah, 100%. Care factor has to be the most important thing.
And that's what they're paying for, is like for you to care. Like, by you carrying it helps them care.
Yeah, bro, 100%.
Some people just need that.
Bro, 100%, man.
Because they're not doing it just for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing it. You know, they're not the only ones on the journey.
Bro, 100%. Like, you look at the value that they can walk away from the time that they've spent for you, and it's probably going to add more years to their life.
Yeah.
For me personally, why I got started in the industry was I saw a chain of events happening in my family where we were working really, really hard, and we were also partying really, really hard. We were drinking, we were smoking.
Just your whole family sort of.
Yeah, like the relationship and the understanding more so with nutrition, with food, with looking after yourself wasn't really high enough. I wouldn't say high enough, but it wasn't really understood. So, you know, diabetes come into play, lung cancer came into play, like dying before they were 50 came into play, obesity came into play, and I looked at that as, I'm in a position now, if I can just dedicate a couple of years to my life, learning a bit more about training, learning a bit more about nutrition, I can not only add more years to my family's life, but spend a bit more time with them and educate them, which they can just ripple on from that. You know what I mean? Like,
one person
bro,
it's just crazy.
It just goes on from there. And for me, like, that was the most important thing. And from that, you know, my parents have actually changed the way that they've approached food and how they value food and the understanding they have for food, because you know, back in the islands where we're from, our food was so nutriently dense, growing from the ground. But as a lot of us moved into the Western societies, it's a lot easier to just go through like a McDonald's drive-through, you know, for the kids, and there's nothing wrong with that, man. But especially for our people, it was such like an easy thing to do.
Like,
so
that convenience was just like new to them.
And
then
100%.
just like, interesting. So how have they transitioned from like where are they at now with that? Like a lot of them.
Bro, so with my parents, they've actually done a different, like a whole 360. So they're slowly starting to introduce a bit more nutrient dense meals, slowly cutting away the processed stuff, the sugars, the takeaways. I'm still indulging in our island food, which everyone loves. I love it as well.
What's island food?
Like, our island food, it's heaps, man. It's heaps. It's heaps. But
what's your favorite? What's your top two?
My top two favorite island meals would have to be, and it's real basic, and it's something that my mum has always cooked for years, is like chicken necks. So it's like not a whole lot of meat on it, but I don't know, the way that she just eat it is like, and cook it is I don't know, it was always good. I don't know if it's like if it's specific to where she's from in Niue, but it's something she's always cooked. So.
Real tasty.
Real tasty. And the second one would be raw fish. Which a lot of islanders make. Like
salmon, sort of like.
Yeah, bro. So they'll have like salmon or any type of raw fish. Like coconut cream, lemon.
Alright.
Like
nice.
Salt, pepper, tomatoes, whatever you want to put in. Yeah, bro. That's gone. That's like, yeah, bro. That's great. That's a favorite.
Make me hungry.
It's making me a bit hungry.
Can you bring us in a traditional Tongan meal, please?
Bro, I can bring you in some traditional Tongan stuff.
I used to train this little Chinese lady, and she'd bring me in like she barely spoke English, but she'd always like bring me in little like traditional meals. It was so good.
Bro, that food, done. But yeah, bro. So that was sort of that process.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. That they've changed.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, what were you about to say, right?
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy.
So have you had anything to do with like fitness industry before about 3 years ago when your uncle bought the PLC?
Other than just training in the gym, no. So sort of got into training in the gym just from playing footy. And I just wanted to get a bit more bigger, a bit more leaner, a bit more stronger. So I started in the gym, just like a local gym. I think I was about like 15, 16. And it was great, just like your standard bro splits, just like heavy bench, heavy squat, heavy dead. That was all I sort of did for a couple of years more than anything. And yeah, sort of just pumped that for a couple of years.
Yeah, nice.
Which was fun. Which is really fun.
Where was that?
I was training at a gym. It was just a close one around home, man. But I don't even think it's there anymore. Just in Rothwell. It was just like a little gym that we train at. Wow, yeah. So yeah, bro, went to Mueller for a little bit. And then before that, I was at Nudgy for about maybe 3 years.
Oh.
Bounced around a little bit.
Was it where you graduated from?
I graduated from St. Columba's in Caboolture.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it was just local footy. Had some mates that went there as well. Yeah, great school, man. In my opinion, back then, I think it's a bit different now, but yeah, bit of a reputation in that area.
Was it league or union?
Union. Yeah, they played a bit of league there as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, just played a bit of union there. Mucked around a little bit, and great school.
Cool.
I love it. On my chest, nah.
So would you go straight into like an apprenticeship after that?
Yeah. Straight into apprenticeship, bro, and sort of just grinded out that for 6 or so years in the trade.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, that's grueling, man. Like, excuse me, in my opinion, hardest workers in the world would definitely be your like manual labor guys, your tradies, bro. Like, that's some hard stuff they do. You know what I mean? It's not easy to do what they do day in, day out. 12-hour days, 6 days a week sometimes.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I have a trade as well, because I think that really taught me like how to actually work hard.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what work was before I did that.
100%. And like, I'm the exact same way. My brothers and I feel the exact same way as well, bro. Like, having that understanding that, you know, you'll just have to literally earn your keep. You know, there'd be days we'd be like on a contract where like we'd rock up to a job, get like a couple of houses done or townhouses done, but you won't be getting paid until like that second or third week. So you'd have to sort of budget what you're doing for about 2-3 weeks, as well as just try and keep that progress up every single day. So there was like no room to sort of just slack off or chill or have like a 2 hour or an hour smoker. Like, you would just bang.
Yeah, well, it's like someone's going to come in and check where you're up to, and if it's like you're fully responsible for what's being done, so there's no hiding from the work. Like,
100%, bro. And
you're
it's
doing
like,
it either way.
But like, I couldn't think of a better way to be introduced into like the workforce other than you're gonna get paid for like the work that you put in, and that's gonna transition you into getting more jobs, more clients, more business. And you know, it's not really too different to, you know, online coaching or running a business or being a personal trainer, face-to-face trainer.
The principles are always the same.
Bro, 100%. I think the most important thing to me was definitely just working really hard and just understanding that, you know, you gotta really put your best foot forward if you really wanna sort of do well. Block out all the noise, all the other tradies on site yelling at you, meet a few characters along the way, great people, and yeah, sort of just go from there more than anything.
So what was your plans with the trade? Were you going to start your own building company?
Not necessarily a building company, bro. Like, I just wanted to learn how to build a house. Yeah. And for me, that was the most important thing. Building a house where, you know, my wife and I raised our family and our kids.
So you went into the trade like with that goal?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I went into the trade with the goal of I'm going to leave the trade at a time when I know I've learned what I've needed to learn. Not necessarily saying I've learned everything and I know everything. Yeah. But you know, just know how to build a house. Yeah. Have the connections, have the contacts.
I'm a gardener.
Just a natural born gardener.
My dad's a gardener. Like,
sure.
My dad's got a pretty nice garden. That's like where
this came from.
The inspiration.
Generational gardener.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he was a farmer. He grew up as a farmer. In Ireland, but I'm just saying I don't know how to build a house, but I can I can plant the seeds.
Right, 100%.
Not just the seeds in the ground, but the seeds in people's minds.
That's it. Yeah. Importance, bro. That turnover. Hey,
but I wish I could build a house. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, you either know how to build the house or you know how to make enough money to pay someone to build it for
Yeah,
you.
bro, 100%. It's
Yeah.
one or the other, right?
We'll get there.
Yeah, slowly getting there. Work in progress.
Work in progress.
Work in
Always.
progress.
Never stop growing.
Bro, 100%. 100%. And that's definitely something that I've taken on when I started PT, was knowing that where I was then isn't where I was always going to be. But if I just focused on one thing in particular, was my personal development, if I made that an emphasis every day just to get a bit more better at it, a bit more understanding, then I knew in the next 2-3 years it was just going to compound from those daily sort of efforts.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And that was a massive blessing, massive eye opener to sort of prioritize. Not so much just trying to put everything all out there, but just work on yourself continually.
That's the most important
working on
thing,
yourself.
honestly, is working on yourself, because that's your ability to do everything.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, if you don't believe you can do something, you're not going to act on it.
Yeah, easily. Like it's crazy.
Like, we're all, like, most tasks and things aren't that complex. They really aren't like super complex.
Yeah.
People just like see big problems and they just like don't break it down into like small things, and they just don't think they can do things.
Right, it's like walking into a situation where everyone's thinking of, how come this happened or why did this happen, instead of having the understanding or mindset of, all right, this is the problem, like let's think of a solution.
Yeah.
Like let's just be solutions
Yeah.
based.
Instead of just dwelling in the problem.
Yeah, instead of just being another person amongst the crowd saying, oh, this didn't work out because of X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what
it's
I mean?
just a choice.
Right,
You're going to be the
100%.
victim, or you're going to like create a way out of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Up to you.
And you need to, like, the biggest thing is just being aware of that.
Yeah.
You need to become aware of it to actually change that choice from like dwelling to, making your circumstance better.
Right.
'Cause you don't even know that. You're not going to make a change in something you're not aware of.
100, bro. Like, and I think one of the most important things as well is having that self-awareness and knowing that, okay, I'm not so great in this particular area, or these people can be a bit more better than I at this particular area.
Yeah.
Let's work with them. Let's see what's made them or continues to make them so great at something, and let's just like latch onto that. Like let's learn what they've learned and just keep going from there.
And there's so many levels, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, we're all on some level playing the victim for
bro.
something.
100%.
Like, otherwise we'd just be fucking billionaires,
Yeah.
like.
Easily,
you know what I mean?
bro.
But it's like, it's crazy how many levels there are to it.
Yeah.
Like, just like 2 years ago, thinking about the way that you thought 2 years ago, as opposed to like now, if you've like tried to make it yourself more aware of it, how many more opportunities you can see around yourself.
Bro, and that's the
Like,
biggest
you
thing.
couldn't even comprehend that you'd be thinking about these things 2 years ago.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Like, a sense of entitlement can definitely progress you if you choose to not attach yourself to that, or to be there. Like, for example, if it's always like, I'm older or I'm bigger, I'm faster than you, you're not going to necessarily grow from that position. Same thing if you always continue to tell yourself a story or tell others a story, like, I couldn't get to this position because of XYZ, or this has stopped me because of XYZ. Well, shoot, look at yourself from a different perspective. You could always tell yourself, you may not wake up tomorrow. Do you really want to have that sort of last thought on your mind? Like, no way. I wouldn't. I'm like, nah, man. Like,
People
I'm
don't
gonna
still
go.
want to think about that.
Bro, 100%. But how crazy is the perspective about it, though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So many levels to just like shifting that paradigm.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is just like your beliefs, like your paradigm is just like a number of beliefs like strung together,
Bro, 100%.
which creates your whole view of how everything is and how the world works.
Yeah. It's
and
like,
you just find the evidence for what you decide to be true.
Yeah.
Right, I can't do it because of this. Right, sweet, that's true.
Yeah, true, right?
Because you said it was true.
That's exactly the outcome that's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think you guys know this as well. A part of the reason why that could happen is definitely one or two things. I think one of the most important thing is having a community around you, or having a select group of people around you, a circle, so to speak, where you don't sort of accept any of those limiting beliefs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't accept those stories, no matter the circumstances.
Yeah.
You just tell yourself, all right, this is the situation I'm in. This is where I'm at in my life. I could either stay here, or I could just open that door of very uncomfortable growth. Doesn't look attractive. It's a bit dark. Like, I don't know what else is in there. But man, who are you to know what's going to happen from that if you don't sort of just walk through and just go through it? You know what I mean? But it's not as, I'm not saying it's freaking easy. It's just go, all right, uncomfortable. Let me come at you.
You have to really want it.
Right, 100%.
Like, you have to like really make that decision that I'm like going to become aware of these things, and I'm going to make a different choice next time I'm in the same situation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just going to get the same results.
Same results. And it's like sort of detaching yourself from either situations or people or energy where it's not so much gravitating to where you want to be.
Yeah.
You could be a totally different person in like 12 months, sort of reconnect with them, and then like they're still in the same position, like still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Whereas you've just sort of taken those uncomfortable steps.
Yeah, and the best way to help them is to lead by example, because they're like, actually, we have pretty much, I know this person, they're not that different to me, they've just chosen differently.
Yeah, bro.
Like, there's nothing really special about them.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, we're all special in our own unique
Yeah.
way. But we've just, if you can, you know, they relate to you and they know, like, fuck, that guy's not that different to me, and he's made all these decisions.
Yeah.
That's how I think you can help people, instead of like sticking around it and just, oh, it's okay, like, let's just be shit together.
Yeah, let's just stay in the same position.
Not shit, like, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, bro, 100%.
Cut that out, right? Cut that out of the live.
That's not gonna be. That's not here.
Don't be shit. What do I tell myself every day?
Yeah, bro. Like the amount of stories that, you know, we can either believe or not believe is really just dependent on if you want to believe it or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not like being sort of obnoxious or anything like that. It's like, man, I'm choosing not to be this way because I don't want to. Let's make the better steps. Let's make better changes.
Shout out to Joe Dispenza.
Bro, shout out to Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Ryan's like, shut up, bro.
Ryan's
Talking
like,
about Joe Dispenza.
bro,
We always got to talk about Joe Dispenza.
Always got to talk about Dr.
No, we haven't spoken about him yet, actually.
No, we haven't, actually.
But a lot of my words are like influenced by him, so indirectly, yeah.
Bro, what a guy.
What a man.
Where do you begin?
I don't know, that's a whole other podcast, eh?
Yeah, that's a proper whole, like, different...
You and I will just do a private one next
We
time.
should do that.
Just because I don't want Ryan to be like
Boring.
No, it's not boring. You just like won't be able to add. I know. I'll just be on like a rant, and you just like what? You've got to like read it, and you've got to be on board with it, sort of thing.
Bro, we're gonna do that. Let's link up and do a friggin'...
Yeah, let's do
Dispenza
rant.
Yeah, bro, just... that could be a thing. Let's get a clothing, like, apparel line from it.
I've got a few fanboys I've converted.
Yeah.
You know Murray Calcutt?
Murray.
He's an IFBB pro.
Okay.
Yeah, he loves him. There's a few.
Massive Dispenza fan. I just had a thought, but it's literally slipped my mind.
It'll come back.
No, sorry. I was gonna ask about the guy that you guys have for Strength Sanctuary. Like, what's the inspiration behind that?
Well, he started as a gorilla holding 2 AK-47s. It was the original idea.
Oh, okay.
And
big transformation.
Yeah, and like we just like weren't sure. We were just gonna do like a mural or something cool, like. And I feel like Hamish Lindsay, he's the artist who created it. He sort of, I feel like he somehow knew in his mind what the gym was going to be before it sort of like turned into what it is. What it is becoming.
Yeah.
And he just said, "Oh, like that's not really your style." He was like, "Dude, jacked monk meditating in the mountains," and I was like, "Yeah, fuck, that's what that's Strength Sanctuary." And he said that, I was like, "Fuck, I can go for it, bro." And he's just a very talented artist, so I just trust him with that. And he helped a lot with like the brand visuals, like the art and stuff.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, and it's crazy how we had this logo that like is symbolic of a lot of the things that now I'm like have been learning and really sort of passionate about and want to share with other people, like the things that have helped me.
Yeah, wow.
And but it wasn't a conscious decision of like, let's get the super woke bodybuilder Jack Monk
Massive guy on.
Yeah, like as a logo.
Yeah, wow.
And yeah.
Look at what it is.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know. What do you see when you look at it? What's like?
Bro, I get like Raiden vibes.
Raiden?
Yeah, like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
Raiden.
yeah.
It's sick though. Bit of Raiden stuff.
What about like the main one?
Oh,
that's the logo. This is just like a variation.
Yeah, I think I like the color from that.
Yeah.
Like the soft peach.
What does
like
what does it make you think though? Like, what do you think of it?
When I see that guy?
Yeah, because obviously it means something to me, but because that's like what it's like. If I'm building the brand that I want to, you'll say a certain thing, I guess.
What do I see? I think what comes to mind is like. What comes to mind is just like the tranquility he's in.
Yeah.
Just like real zen.
Yeah.
Just like real.
It may not mean
his own
anything
vibes.
to you. Like, that's fine too.
I don't know. I think it's just from the setting. Like the dude's levitating above the mountains. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't happen every day. Well, that we know of, anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it. No, sorry, that was a random tangent. No, just.
But no, that's cool. But yeah, definitely like intention behind training. Like that's what he sort of has become. But it didn't start with a whole lot of meeting. But it's sort of like when I've learned about these like things about like changing your mindset and choosing your meaning. Sort of things like with I was like sort of want to influence people to think about it with training, like why they're in the gym. Like, what does it mean to you? What is like what's your purpose? Like what are you there? Like not having just like I just want to be jacked.
Yeah,
sort of like what does it mean to be physically strong to you?
Yeah.
And like be confident.
Be confident.
And
100%.
not make excuses, create your own reality, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you use the gym as a good place to start.
Yeah, true.
And people who, maybe are in like a bit of a hole, they can start with the training and then that helps them like believe that they can do more.
Right, 100%.
Because they're doing things that they couldn't do before physically.
Yeah, 100%.
And then they give themselves permission to, what else can I do?
Sort of just evolve from
there.
there.
Yeah, like Ryan will say, like build the habits in the gym that carry over to anything else.
Yeah, bro.
You got your food down, you trained hard, you made time in your day to do it, got jacked.
Yeah.
And then how can that carry over to other things?
Bro,
what else can I do? That's sort of,
I think just adding on to that as well, bro, I think like the intention, I feel like it's not really emphasized enough in some of the gyms.
It's
or
not barely
understood.
At all, bro. It's just
right?
people often, I think, trying to sell the superficial thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Just like looking good.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like what does looking good matter if you feel shit about yourself? Like you can look great and you look in the mirror and you don't feel good about yourself. Like what's the point?
It's not really gonna transition over, right?
Yeah, and it can help you. Like if you have the right intention behind it, then it can be like life changing.
Yeah, powerful. Bro. 100%.
I know people who have gone down the route and they just become more arrogant, more egotistical. They take more drugs. It just turns into this toxic thing of just being better than everyone else. And I've seen like it go really bad, and it's just like I want sort of the opposite of that. Like,
bro, 100%.
It didn't have to go that way, but you just like fell into that trap.
Just fell into it.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
It's really sad to see because it can, that's the extreme, obviously.
Well, the thing is though, like that's still present in the industry.
Yeah, of course.
Right, like that culture, so to speak, and I found that early on in the gyms, you definitely get that sort of energy and vibe from people, and I sort of just stayed away, to be honest.
Yeah,
sort of just went in the gym, did my own thing, like just said hello to the boys, just like the normal, I guess, bro stuff you do when you first start training. But yeah, 100%, bro. The attention behind, I guess, coming to the gym and also being comfortable in your own skin as well. Yeah, I think that was actually one of the questions I got to sort of go through.
Was on the live?
I did a story yesterday, and that was one of the questions was like, almost how can I get a bit more confident walking into like a commercial gym, and how do I get, what does confidence look like?
Just come to the sanctuary instead.
Well, I was tempted to just like spam my story with like at Strength Sanctuary just like 100 times over. But I was like, that's a great question. I think we could discuss that. But
was there any other good ones? Like
bro, there was a couple good ones, man. Like I was sort of surprised that.
Is your phone dead or do you?
Nah, it was
we can fire a couple off if you want.
No.
No, we haven't done that yet. It's actually a really good idea.
No, it was good, man. I thought a lot of my mates were just gonna take the piss.
I would say to that question would just be understanding that everyone in there is looking at themselves and not you.
Yeah.
Like,
people aren't going there.
You could walk in there, do a full lap, come out. I could ask every single person in there if they just saw you. No one would have seen you. No one would know what your hair color was, what you look like. Not one person would remember you or anything you did.
Yeah.
You could be doing it like, unless you're using like a machine fully upside down or something, then maybe someone's gonna look at you funny. But like,
unless they're your mates, then you'd hope that they'd notice you.
Yeah, but I mean, still, even your mates probably too caught up in what they're doing.
They're not there to judge you. No one's like, fuck, that guy looks gay.
Yeah.
Gay.
Everyone's so focused on what they're doing that no one is looking at anyone else.
No, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like for people to understand that, they'd actually have to, like, sort of be in the gym.
Yeah.
Like, to know that you don't have to be that self-conscious to think that people are always going to be looking at you, or she or he's not doing the squat correctly.
Some gyms there is like culture and it's all like that.
Yeah.
It's like that's again what we're trying to make is like it's not like that at all. It's the opposite.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
But there is some gyms that are a little bit like that. But the thing is, you can choose to not give a fuck. Like, so what? Like, you're there for you. You're not there
for anyone else.
And people don't think about it this way. Like, let's get 5 years' time. You didn't go to the gym because you were afraid of some person you don't even know thinking that you were weak, which probably is not even going to happen and you never even know.
Yeah.
What a waste of time.
What a waste of time.
What a fucking waste of your life.
Yeah, proper.
And you've just always wanted to do this, but you didn't. Like, how... That regret should be scare the fuck out of you a lot more than the actual, like, potential judgment of someone you don't even know.
Yeah. I've heard people say they're, like, subconscious because they don't know if they're doing the things right. Yeah. And I would say to that, like, just get a trainer. It's like, there's not that much money in it, and it's an investment in yourself.
Bro, 100%.
And you can be sure that you're doing everything right.
100%. Like, nothing screams more, like, help me, other than someone just sort of coming up with those stories like, oh, I can't make it to the gym today because something's happened at work, or like, just story after story. It's like, man, come see a trainer. You know, not always going to be easy for people.
Commit, like that financial commitment as well. It's just like you're paying for it. It's like, now I have to take this seriously because otherwise it's a complete waste of money.
100%. And man, I speak about this when...
But that's a different story, I guess.
Bro, it's crazy. Like, you think about it, people would much rather sort of connect to 5 different streaming services that charge you like $15 or whatever it is, than spend like, you know, maybe twice a week with the trainer. You know, sort of seeing that long-term payoff other than that immediate sort of satisfaction is a bit difficult for people sometimes.
Just asking yourself what your priorities are.
Right, 100%.
It's like, it's not a matter of money, it's a matter of priorities. Like, you've decided these other things are more important.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
And those things are often are not making you happy.
Easy.
They're doing the absolute opposite.
Doing the opposite.
Like pleasure.
They're keeping you like in comfort. In your home, wrapped up in a blanket, like head and necks on Netflix.
And that's the most uncomfortable thing you can do long term.
That's that looking at it instead of like as money going out of your account, other than that could be it, or looking at it as an investment in yourself, your future self more than anything. You know what I mean?
I think, like, if you're gonna use a negative emotion, just use that fear of regret. Like, I've used that so many times. Just like, it's like, fuck, I know I should do this and it would be good for me, but what are people gonna say? What if I fail? What are these things like? What's the regret gonna feel like?
Yeah.
In 5 years' time, when you felt like you had something to share but you didn't, because you know, those things were more stronger than your...
You valued that more.
Yeah,
you know?
valued that more.
You valued that more.
Bullshit.
That fear.
And it's not even true. Like, all these things, like I think Mark Twain's quote is like, I'm 99% of the things that I was afraid of happening didn't even happen.
Bro, 100%.
Or were real. Like he's like 99% of my problems are imagined.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like, going off that, I remember when I first started in the industry.
Something like that.
Like-
Don't quote me on that.
My biggest fear was public speaking. So as a kid growing up, I was extremely introverted. I was shy. Like, we'd have family gatherings and we'd play like games and stuff, and like from a lot of noise I'd like just cry because it's a lot going on for me. So as a kid.
Yeah,
And
very
then-
sensitive.
Bro, real like too much going on. When I started in the industry, my uncle's like, look, the biggest thing you're gonna have to overcome is like your fear of public speaking, of like talking to people, like in front of other people. And all I thought about and remember thinking was, if I can literally get over this, there's nothing that I can not do. There's nothing that's gonna be put in front of me where it's like, oh, this is too big, I can't do it. Why? Because I knew myself that I'd overcome the biggest fear that was ever put in front of me, which is public speaking. So what I did was I just made sure I was coaching every class that I could at PLC. So I'll do like 6 classes a week, like all for free. And I try my best to make sure I was doing the demonstrations, as well as like the talking about, all right, we're going to do this exercise, XYZ. Man, I remember the first time I did the demonstrations, no one knew who I was. Like, I stayed in the car like 2 minutes just before the class was, just hyping myself up. I was like, you got to think long term. You got to think long term. If you can overcome this can be something that people can draw from and become better at. So that was all my focus, all my intention, bro, was just forget about yourself, how it makes you feel. You're going to add value to someone's life in the future because of something that you've overcome.
And if you can focus on those other people,
bro,
that's where you can overcome yourself. Like,
100%.
Because if you're just caught up in your own little problems.
You're just going to stay in your own little
I feel like
problems.
the best thing you can do for yourself if you're like depressed is focus on helping other people.
Bro,
One of the
100%.
best things you can do.
Easily. And like,
You're helping yourself by helping other people.
and sometimes you may not even know that though. You know what I mean? Like, you may not even know the
people
value like you're giving to them until they actually tell you, man, like, you've actually helped me. You've actually given me a couple more years in my life, but shown me a couple of ways to eat a bit better or train a bit more efficiently. I don't have to train at 100% Monday to Friday. Like, you know what I mean? Little things like that I valued, and it's great, man. Like, I just use like that experience of overcoming my fear of that public speaking in every aspect of my life. You know what I mean? Like, if you'd have told me when I first started in the industry that I would have, 2 things, I would have overcome my fear of public speaking, and I'd be on a podcast like this, I would have been like, nah, man, like, that's not me. That's something that's almost impossible.
Yeah, me too, man.
Right.
This like talking in front of a camera, I was always like, I'm never that person. Like, I stutter. I sometimes don't communicate the way that I want to, or think like I can misconstrue things. Like, there's all these reasons why I could not speak in front of a camera. I'm too awkward. You know, I mumble. Like, there's all these reasons. I was like, I sort of like feel like I need to do this. But I was always like, no, it's just not me.
100%.
Just fucking start, and now it's like becoming way more natural.
Bro,
We've been doing very well.
The best thing I ever did was like start my YouTube channel.
Nice.
I watched myself talking on camera and I was like, oh my god. I was like, speak up, man. What are you doing? Stop mumbling. No one can hear you. So I was like, that really fixed me.
That's crazy, bro. Like, what reflection can do for you, right? Seeing yourself on camera, hearing your own voice, you're just like, wow, do I really sound like that? Do I look like that? Like, what am I doing with my hands? Like, why is my head doing that? You know what I mean?
Shut the fuck up. Stop interrupting Ryan when you're on your little rants, okay?
But again, man, like, overcoming that, I sort of just took that energy into like everything that I did. And I was like, cool, this is the situation that's in front of me. These are the cards I've been dealt. You're going to overcome this. You know, language to me is really important, and sort of writing down my goals every day, where I'll start with, I have completed XYZ. I have completed my personal development.
Is that the end of the day or the start of the day?
So I'll start that in the beginning of my day.
So what sort of questions do you ask?
It's not necessarily questions. I'll sort of just list down 3 tasks that I'll complete that day. But I'll always start it out with, I have completed. Like for today, my 3 tasks were, I have completed my content creation for the week, which is what I did in my training at the gym today. I have jumped on this podcast, added some value to people's lives, hopefully. And the last one was, Last one was I have completed 60 minutes of personal development. So I write in the beginning of my day, changing from day to day, week to week. But I don't know if I can change my language around it. I've already sort of overcome, I've already completed it before my days sort of started.
Yeah.
And that's been a massive hack for me the past 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Just slowly refined it and just made it suit me a bit more. But yeah, language is massive.
Yeah.
So you write like you have done it at the start of the day.
Yeah. So I'll write like.
And you feel the emotion when you're of like having completed that task.
Or 100%. Yeah, like I'll sit there and just be like, right, this is how I'm gonna feel when I've completed X, Y, Z. Just really get into it, manifest it as much as I can, and just go and execute.
That's literally manifesting.
Yeah, bro, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And
Where'd you learn that from? Just something you just sort of started doing.
I actually learned that from my uncle.
Yeah, good.
So he started it when he started his business at PLC, which was great because I felt that to be a massive hack for me. I was sort of here and there in regards to goals, but I sort of shifted my mindset and understanding and attitude around it once he sort of introduced this concept of language more than anything, and sort of reflection in the morning and in the evenings about the day you're going to have and the day that you've had as well. And that's been massive. It's huge as well in a book I read called Meditations by Marcus Aurelius.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that's good.
Yeah, bro, it's a great book.
Is it really long?
It's very pages wise, not really, but what did get me was, I guess, his knowing who he was as a Roman emperor of that time, but also being aware of his faults. One of the quotes that I really love about it is, he says, what's life going to be like without colourful people being people who judge you, people who make up stories about you, people who, cross you, people who do X, Y, Z. You wouldn't be getting the most out of life if it wasn't for these colourful people adding colour to your life. And I remember reading that and being like, man,
you wouldn't be grateful for the people who do have your back.
Bro, 100%. Like, what a perspective to have someone written that however many thousands of years ago was.
Timeless.
Bro, crazy. Proper timeless. So, yeah, I'd definitely recommend that book.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I've listened to some of his, people talking about him and, his philosophies and stuff, but I've heard that book's really good.
Yeah, it's gone, man.
Yeah.
Gone.
I've got a bad habit of, starting books and then, not finishing them. Just, getting real excited for the first few chapters and then...
Just drifting off?
Yeah. Or just the buzz of a new book.
Yeah, that's massive. That was me with the Jordan Peterson book.
Yeah.
12
Rules to Life.
Yeah. I think I just started the 3rd chapter and my mind was like, man, this is just a lot of information. I felt like I was a lobster. He talks about lobsters in the first chapter, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was me with the Jordan Peterson book.
Yeah.
Remind me, I've got to pick that one up again.
Yeah, no.
Thank you. Grateful for the reminder.
You're
Grateful.
welcome.
Grateful.
Yeah,
Jordan Peterson.
Small group training.
Small group training.
Yeah.
Love it.
You're the man.
Bro, it's great, man. I think, and I said this to you guys before, having the opportunity of only having 6.
I feel like we shouldn't call it small group training because people think of F45 or one of those other ones. They call themselves small group training, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's not the right word for us. We need to call it small group coaching or something like that because it is more PT.
More PT, yeah.
Right.
And it's
What do you think? I don't know. I feel like we haven't got the right word for it yet for what we're trying to do.
I think we're gonna find the right word.
Yeah.
The more we get into it a bit more as well.
Yeah, we the strength camp. People think of a boot camp.
Boot camp.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
It's a boot camp. You just turn up and just don't. You could be there or not. No one really care. But with this, it's actually accountability.
Yeah.
Programming.
100%, bro. And I think that's been the greatest value that people have gotten out of it.
Yeah.
As they've understood the difference that it's not so much like a camp, you're doing burpees and running a lot.
Yeah.
It's getting more specific with types of movements that they wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable doing in a gym, either by themselves or with a group. Yeah. But yeah, it's been great, bro. Been doing a bit of brainstorming around some ideas, which has been pretty good.
Yeah. Still
this week.
Need to nowhere near where we need to be with that.
Yeah.
But we'll get
slow
there.
progress, but we're getting there.
We believe in it, so really fucking believe in it, man.
Yeah, bro.
It's got everything you know, it needs, like, it's a great
To
product.
kick off, 100%, bro. Like I
It's
think
better than anything. Like, I think it's the most value if anything of that kind I've seen.
bro, like the demographic you're gonna start bringing in here is gonna be massive, as well as the demographic that's already in here.
Yeah.
Seeing like a different side of the gym,
Yeah, that's
is gonna be massive. It's gonna have potential for
What do you
growth.
What do you see the potential of it?
For me, I see the potential for this long term as having people be more comfortable to do movements outside of the training that we do within that class, sort of doing it on their own. I think gaining that confidence and that ability to sort of believe in themselves and back themselves, you know, under a bar with some weight or picking up that bar from the ground. I think that's going to be the biggest thing that I sort of envision the most, is having people walk away with that confidence more than anything. You know?
Yeah, a lot of people say that when they're getting started, they're like, I want to join the gym, but like I don't know how to train, or like what to do.
What to do? How do I lift this bar off the ground? You know what I mean? And
How to actually progress.
how to progress.
Measure your progression.
Measure your progression. And that's crazy, bro, with progression, because we can look at progression in a 6-month timeline, and depending on our goals, we're either going up or down. But if we sort of zoom in, like, and I got this from Tom, my guy, like, it's going to be days and weeks where it's like you'll plateau, you'll do really good with your weight. If you're trying to cut, you're cutting your weight, or there's going to be some days and weeks where it's just skyrocketing. But nonetheless, you know, the progression is going to happen over that consistency, right? Over that time period.
Yeah.
More than anything. So shout out to Tom. The man.
The man.
The man. Yeah. Crazy. Always coming back to Tom.
We'll get it.
Always coming back to Tom.
It's been a challenge though to crack that code of getting people to know about it.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Slow and steady, bro. I believe in it.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen organically.
Yeah, dude.
Manifest it. I have. Da, da, da.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
It's cool, bro. It's good. It's yeah, definitely leveled up my understanding around goal setting. More so like thinking about it as outcomes. I sort of think of goals as like, I've got to work really hard to get it, which is exactly what it is, but I've sort of changed my belief and understanding around an outcome is the outcome of me doing these daily 1%ers is going to be this result, right? And that's just how I've shifted my understanding. Because I believe in that, that's what's going to continue to happen.
Yeah, it's like you're focusing on the consequence.
Yeah, bro.
Like of, you know, you focus on the value, and the outcome is just the consequence of the value that you provide.
Yeah, bro, 100%. That exchange of
that was
values.
something I heard from Cohen Ray, and that really clicked for me.
Yeah.
I was like, so focused on like the end result of like getting there. So just focus on how you're gonna get there.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Just you're gonna get there regardless.
Yeah.
I saw a pretty cool Cohen Ray video the other day. It was about, and you've probably seen this as well. The story goes like a daughter was asking her mother while she was preparing like a Christmas ham or something, why she cuts off like a specific end of the ham.
Yeah.
And the mother was like, oh, like I don't really know.
Oh yeah.
What? Like my mother's always done it.
Yeah.
So the conversation kept going. They ended up getting in touch with like her mother or the grandmother, and the grandmother was like, oh, I don't know, it's just something that's always been done.
Yeah.
And he sort of made the comment like, if you're always just going to do things because mum and dad have always done it, you're going to get results that mum and dad's always gotten.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got a bigger fridge or oven in 2021, man. Like you don't have to cut the end of the ham
that story's not yours. That started like generations ago.
Generations ago.
It's generations. Like it's pretty crazy to like break a cycle that's just been generations.
Yeah.
Generations of just like, this is what our family's done. This is
same,
who we are. This is what we do.
Right.
We have to work incredibly hard to be successful. We're fat.
Yeah.
It's just
we're always going to be
genetic.
this way.
Yeah. We've always been like
ordered,
this. We've got bad genetics, like whatever it may be. It's like we've always been poor. It's like no, that's not true. It's just it's just a
belief, bro.
It's a limiting belief.
Bro, that's so crazy. Like my
and it's like with that story, they was like they didn't even know why
they didn't even know the reason. It was just mum and dad always did it, so it's like we're always going to continue to do it.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Bro, like that, like going off that limiting beliefs and sort of just doing what's always been done and believing what's always been done. My dad stopped drinking. My dad's family were like very like heavy alcoholics.
Yeah.
Party all the time. And he knew he didn't want to carry on that lifestyle, meeting my mother, who was a totally different person.
Yeah.
Anyways, he started drinking. One time he sort of looked into the eyes of my older sister at that time. He sort of just come off a crazy sort of bender.
Yeah.
And he sort of just looked at her and he's like, man, I can't keep this up. Like I'm gonna keep doing the same process every single week and it's not gonna get any better for anyone. So he sort of stopped that cycle. Like he broke that chain. Yeah, man, he hasn't touched a drink in, I'm 26 this year, over 26 years.
Yeah, wow.
And that's massive, especially for like our people as Polynesians. We love
just like
alcohol.
culture.
Yeah, it's like a cultural thing. And he stopped that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my brothers and I, my siblings and I, we don't drink, and that's almost like weird in our community.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, I sort of take my hat off to my dad. Like, man's went against everything he sort of believed in because he didn't want to continue that same cycle. And I looked at that as if he can do that, so can I. You know what I mean? Like, my grandparents migrated from the islands to New Zealand in the 70s, where there was social prejudices, there was education barriers, there were social barriers that they had to overcome, language. Like, my grandfather couldn't even write in English, so my dad would go with him to the bank and write like a $10 check just to give it to the bank teller so they could get money to go pay for dinner. Like, you think about that now, like, what the heck, everyone knows how to write, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like little things like that.
It's not that long ago either.
It's not that long ago, bro, and it's crazy because they overcame that. My parents came from New Zealand to Australia to give, obviously, us a better life. Like, we have no excuse. Me personally, I have no excuse to slack off. I have no excuse to have like a rest day, to sort of take the foot off the pedal. Like, there's everything readily available to me. I just have to hustle until it's done. Like, I just have to not care about anyone or anything and just go for it. Like, just stay outcome focused. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm just doing it for my family, man. Like,
I love it.
We've overcome so many things. Like, I honestly believe all the hard work's done. I don't think I have to do any hard work. For them to overcome, like, all of those barriers, like, I can speak English, like, I can write, I can have a conversation, I can drive a car. Like, they couldn't do any of those things, you know what I mean?
You've got the internet.
Got the internet, bro. Like, 5G's coming out, it's pretty out, I don't know, but you know what I mean? It's like, just realize what's been done, what's been sacrificed for you, and in my case, that's my family. And then just plan and just hustle till it's like, you've got it all.
So like helps to put your problems into perspective.
Bro, 100%.
When you think about
100%. You wake up and it's like, I'm tired, and you're like, oh really? Nah, are you really that tired?
And no one talks about that stuff. And it's just even people who are from a good country, like, think about what life would have been 100 years ago.
Bro, 100%.
150 years ago. That's like 2 generations. That's like your grandparents, parents, whatever. Like,
yeah.
It's not that long ago.
It's not that long ago, bro.
And like the whole evolution of humans, like, what are we, like 200,000 years old? Like, it's nothing.
It's nothing, man. And it's
the
like,
amount of change is crazy.
That perspective shift can do a lot for someone.
Yeah.
Right, that could put you on a trajectory where it's like, all right, I'm here. This is where I want to be. This is my path. Obviously, it's not going to seem as clear as I want it to be. That's fine. You just adjust and just go from there. But yeah, that's one thing I sort of placed more of an emphasis on the last couple of years is my family's overcome so much. I have literally no excuse to get it done. No excuse to hustle until I have it. You know what I mean? And just have that attitude every day. Just take it into the training, take it into my business, take it into being genuine with people.
Yeah.
You know, also learning along the way that there's so much more to learn.
Yeah.
So much more to grow into more than anything.
It's exciting when you think about it that way.
Yeah, 100%.
You can look at it the other way as well, like super overwhelming. You're like, I don't know anything. What's the point?
Yeah.
It's like, again, just a choice.
Just a choice, man. Just a choice.
I know
Your decisions will always determine your destiny. That's something I believe in.
Yeah.
100%. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
But that's crazy. Perspective.
They just got Joe Dispenza.
Joe Dispenza. It's always coming back to Joe Dispenza. Nah.
he doesn't. He just explains it the best of anyone. I reckon.
I agree, bro.
But
I
no one
agree.
can communicate the way he does.
Yeah, that's a whole other. We need to do another podcast of that. We need to do another podcast of that.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Yeah, bro. But
I'll just say Ryan will have to set it up for me though.
we need to do it, man. Let's lock it.
Yeah.
Let's lock it in. But no, yeah.
I want to get him on. That's like my biggest dream with this podcast.
Dispenser?
Yeah.
Let's manifest that. Let's write it down, bro.
Manifest that
Let's
shit.
do it. Let's do it.
10 years time, he'll
I'm
be
with
sitting
ya.
here.
I'm with you, brother.
He'll be sitting with us, Ryan. Can you imagine that? He's like, shut up, bro.
Just put it out there, bro. Just shoot it out there. But nah. Yeah. But this has been cool.
Yeah, man.
Chats of doom, man. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm all about the chats, bro. All about the vibes.
Yeah.
All about the vibes.
The universe brought you here.
Bro, 100%. And I'm glad. Grateful.
Yeah.
Today's been a good
Yeah.
day.
It's funny how these things
Grateful.
happen.
Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing you at PLC, and you were aware of Blake from PLC because your girlfriend went there.
Yeah.
And I just
Shout out to Rach.
I just,
You're the man.
And I just remembered like he'd be like a good I had that thought, just not a serious thought at all, but like I could see him like being here running classes,
Crazy.
but not really. Like it was just like a fleeting thought. And same with Tom. I was like, Tom will be here one day. Same with Jazz. Like I was like, I don't know when or how. I can see them all being here.
Yeah, 100%.
Now we got the dream team.
Bro, dream team. Like, bro, 100%. I think the way that works is something that people need to believe in a bit more.
Yeah, they do.
It's not like a voodoo, like you guys are weird, but man, I believe in that 100%, bro.
There's the science there now if you decide to look for it. Like you've got to have the want to have an interest in these things, otherwise.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just like, so exciting to like have the evidence to be empowered that way.
Yeah, bro.
Anyway, we were talking about it already.
Man, it's coming back in. It's coming back in.
Yeah, awesome.
Fuck
yeah, dude.
Nah, bro, this has been sick.
Yeah. It's been really nice.
It's been really nice. Refreshing.
Yeah, it's been good spoken about a lot of different stuff. Like,
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like
I have
it.
no idea where they're gonna go. Hey.
Bro, I feel like that's like the best way to have it. Like the organic side of that sort of podcasting, questions and chats more than anything. Yeah, this is awesome. I want to jump on another one.
Yeah, dude. We'll definitely do episode 2.
Yeah.
Blake
Bro.
part 2.
Bro, keen. I'm keen for it, brother.
Yeah.
I'm keen.
Sick.
Yeah. Alright, man.
Alright, thanks for coming on board.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Lads, Strength Sanctuary, let's do it.
Let's go. Woo!
Let's go.